So yeah, with that, like initially that just started as me doing my own thing with the Goober report and all that sort of stuff. And then it was pretty much just the people backstage just pitching stuff together. I'm pretty sure Cherry wanted to do some stuff as well, and that was sort of pitched. And I remember it being like a thing of, um, oh yeah, we might do this for a show just because we don't have much for you guys because whatever. Like not in a negative way, but like it's in a sense of like we'll see how it goes, but maybe like on one or two shows from memory. And so the fact that it lasted like a year and a half, I think is like a positive thing. Is a good sign there. And then it just sort of built. There was that little break in the middle with the lockdown for like 5 months there, but like because it started before that and all that sort of thing. So yeah, it was just literally just one of those like let's see how this works kind of thing. And it started with the first live Goober report, which is actually like Sam Osborne's idea. Fun fact, because I'd always wanted to do like a live talk show segment. I feel like that's just the coolest sort of thing. Because also no one was really doing it in Australia, like at least to
Yep.
my knowledge. If they are, I apologize, but to my knowledge, like currently, I don't think there was like a talk show segment because at least with PWAs, all were very like wrestling focused, wrestling centric, and putting on phenomenal matches and phenomenal performances. So I'd always had the idea of the back of my head of just like, like I've always loved highlight reel and Piper's Pit, that kind of stuff. That's just something different. And like I had the promos online and stuff, and I just thought that was like a natural progression to sort of make it a live segment. But it was also one of those things where it's like you don't know if that's something management would go for because it's like not really a thing that's done kind of thing. But I remember Osborne because I was with him at the time, and he was just like, "Oh, what if we did this?" And so they sort of went with it, and so that was the one back in it was the Aussie Open vs Velocity show, like the first one in 2021, and that led to like it was like a 6-person tag. It was like me, Osborne, and Cherry against Jess, Charlie Evans, who I hate, and Ricky South, and which was a lot of fun. Like that was like one of my favorite things I've ever done because it was the first one too. So a lot of it was just like we weren't sure how it was going to go because there hasn't been like anything that we've done of like in the past to sort of refer to. It was just like, oh yeah, we'll just do this and we'll see how it goes. But I think because you had 6 and even like Dom Arnell as well was there, so like 7 just like really vibrant, very, very like big personalities, I think it would have been hard to mess that one up. So yeah, so then that started there, and then we like pretty much got into lockdown shortly after. But once we got back, I think the first one went really well. We got a lot of good feedback. So then it was just sort of another thing that management wanted to keep doing, which was a positive because that was my main thing with the first one. I'm like, I kind of got to nail it because if I mess it up and if it's shit, then they'll be like, all right, we'll never do this again. Like, this was a horrible idea. Let's just forget this ever happened. And then, so I'm glad that went well. And then it sort of just spiraled into its own thing. And then obviously the intern thing with Cherry was really big. And that sort of spiraled into its own thing too. So it's a lot of just like natural progressions with the narrative and everything, which has been a lot of fun the past year. And yeah, very proud of all that stuff. And yeah, I hate Cherry Stevens though. She sucks.
But I think when you can do something, like the Australian scene, as you mentioned, PWA is very, focused on in-ring wrestling, in-ring action, and putting on amazing matches. Adding this sort of segment to the show, I think, opens up to more of a different type of audience, maybe as well. Because I think that like wrestling fans, there's wrestling fans like different things. Some like the in-ring action, some like promo, some like the over the top characters. but it just depends. And I think that like the Goober report to me was something really cool because it was something different, as you said, no one was doing in Australian wrestling, like a segment like that.
For sure, yeah, that I 100% agree. That's why I think it's gone so well so far. Like it's sort of stood out, and I'm of the thought process, and most people, I guess, in PWA are of like the show needs to be a bit of a variety. So you can't really have 7 matches that are 20 minutes, just big sort of epic encounters kind of thing. So I've always been on the belief that you need your big main events, you need your high flyer matches, you need some comedy, maybe a tag match and that kind of things to spice things up. Even like hardcore stuff from time to time to throw it in there, and then now, and even just like promos, segment based stuff like a talk show, I think helps break things up, and it's, I guess, like a useful tool as well to break up a show so it's not so monotonous, so it's not like the same kind of thing. And again, it's also like there's a lot of avenues you can take with it. Like it's, if people want to like start some stories and stuff, like it's the perfect way to sort of catapult that instead of just like, oh, I hate you, let's fight kind of thing. There's a platform there where like it can be used to sort of create stories and stuff like that, which is really cool, which is what we've been doing the past like a year or so. So yeah, I think it's going well so far, and I'm been really happy with it. And like the last one we did, I think was really, really cool too. The whole the bet stuff. So yeah, like just everything's been better than I expected with it, because like stuff like that could also fall apart and could just be like horrible. Like if it's the wrong person doing it, it could just be like cringe. It's just like, or like they're just out there for ages waffling on and doing nothing, which I've done from time to time, and I'm no saint, but like if it's like just going too long, or if it's not entertaining, or if it's this and that, and it's just like you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, then it's a bit like but I think at least so far it's been all right, and been able to progress some stories and been entertaining. So as long as it's still that, then yeah, I'm keen on doing it still. Like even if I just do that for the rest of my career, fine by me.